Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Kerbal Space Program. Today we are going to be making a rover for the moon, so we can cart our Kerbals around on the surface and not have to waste any precious fuel. So here we are using the Lynx Rover mod, so it gives you a bunch of nice parts that look really good and have integration with Kerbalism and life support and whatnot. And we are also going to be using Bon Voyage, which is a mod that allows you to set a waypoint on a planetary surface or moon surface or what have you, and it will drive there by itself, because I don't want to be driving multiple hours in game, because that is just not that fun, and this vessel is kind of flippy, as you'll find out in the next episode. I have switched up my microphone, so if you notice a difference in my audio, I'm using probably a Rode mic from probably somewhere around 2014-ish. It's what I had before I was using an old Xbox headset, like the one with the 1 year and mic. I don't know how it sounds. Let me know if you notice any improvement or if it sounds worse. I can always go to my place of work and buy a different one and try it out, see what you guys think, whatever. But yes, we have almost completed our rover. We are just putting the last final touches on, such as batteries and life support and whatnot, and making sure we have the science. Although I thought I put in the special kit that allows you to have a what was it? The Science Junior on board, but I guess I removed it last minute because it wasn't on there when I just flew the next episode, the next part. But that's okay. So we're just putting on some antennas and some probe cores and whatnot just to make it flyable, because like everything else, we are just going to fly there remotely, and then we can land our Kerbals in the future, and they can go down and they can meet up, and this can just do whatever it needs to, yada yada yada. Nothing that interesting. Just putting on the final bits and pieces of science, naming it, and then we have to construct a carrier vessel. Oh, and there's the Bon Voyage part. That is the autopilot that allows it to drive on its own. So we have a decoupler, we have a fuel tank. I'm trying to put on a fairing, but that's gonna fail because it's too wide, and then I'm gonna go and modify something later and it's not gonna fit, and yada yada yada. That's not the final fairing, so don't worry. Big fuel tank, little fuel tank. We are not going cryogenic this time. Yep, we're gonna grab some of those slip plates, those grip plates, I believe they're called, again with the, I think it was Breaking Ground expansion pack. Yeah, those reduced friction, or the increased friction, my bad, and will allow it to drive off super easy. Now we're just strutting it up because it probably will crack and come apart and whatever, I don't really know. Grab some RCS so we can just soften our fall when we land. Grab some RCS for attitude control, and grab the Poodle engine. Yeah, there, I don't like how it's sticking out, but I tried and I did that here. It's not fitting, so it's kind of whatever. I just slap on another 2.5 meter aerodynamic fairing to cover all of that up, because would you imagine that a rover isn't the most aerodynamic thing in the world? I don't think it's that necessary. I know in Kerbal Space Program, you can get away with flying some kind of ridiculous things, but yeah, I don't know if JNSQ will modify that in any way, so I'm just throwing on a fairing just to make it look a little bit more realistic and a little bit better. So here we are on the launch pad, taking off. And welcome back. I hope you enjoyed those tunes. You catch me as we are beginning our descent. Actually, we've already begun our descent. We're beginning our landing on the surface. So I am just killing off all of our velocity, just like any old regular landing. We are coming down to a soft touch on the surface of the moon. Just about now. We're descending at about 6-ish meters per second, coming down to land, and there we go. I rotate and I use the RCS to soften our fall, and that is complete. So we can roll off our lander. Well, we don't have any SAS on it. It's absolutely fine. Oh, I'm sorry. It's getting late at night. I had a long-ish shift, a 5.5-hour shift. I know it's not terribly long, but it's just long enough to where it's annoying, and it's just under the threshold of when we get a meal break, aka a 35-minute unpaid break, of course. Whatever. So I'm just a little bit tired from that, don't mind me. I will press forward and get this off to you. But I do have quite the backlog of videos, so there is absolutely no worries about that right now. So I can be busy, I can do whatever I need to do, and there's not really worries about running out of videos to upload again for maybe like 8-ish days or so. I think I have like 3 or 4 videos in the catalog just scheduled, waiting to be uploaded. This is gonna be number like 4 or 5 or something. But I think I'm just gonna push on and keep making videos and adding it to the scheduled list. There's some fun ones coming up, some nostalgic ones. I am willing to play other video games other than Kerbal Space Program. So if you have any suggestions, leave those down in the comments below, and I will see what I can do. So here we are building our crew vessel. Yeah, so we're using hydrogen upper stage due to the increased efficiency and whatnot. We have an abort system. We're going to be going ahead and building out our service bay. So I'm just trying to figure out what I should put in the middle. I eventually end up on those small, what are the 0.625 meter, I think, tanks. We have some fuel cells in there just in case. We have some batteries. We have a small solar panel, but I choose to put in the bigger solar panel because it looks a little bit cooler. And who doesn't think that big solar panels are cool? We are putting on four RCS modules in order to make docking nice and easy with this. I don't want to forget anything. We are getting our gas tanks. We have nitrogen, oxygen, and food and water, and all of that good stuff that our Kerbals need to survive. So actually, I built this before I did the previous part. I just didn't think it flew. The flow was as good. But here we are. So there was a little bit of loading and stuff without whatever. So I am just going to be slapping on our usual 30-ton lifter. It's a workhorse. It is beautiful. It's so good. It can lift so much mass to orbit. It's just really nice because I don't have to spend a bajillion years trying to figure out something to lift it. I can just go to the catalog, pick out an appropriate launcher, slap it on there, don't even have to think about it. It works. It's tested. I'm just trying to find an appropriate sticker to put on here. I believe those are, I don't remember the name, but it's one of the decal mods. It's pretty good. So you just throw one of those on, you can pick your symbol, whatever, it's fine. I switch it up to the flags because they look a little bit nicer. We're just going to throw in the NASA meatball because it looks cool, and why not? Just being indecisive there a little bit, but it's fine, just make that a little bit smaller. Grab our 30-ton, get rid of the payload fairing area because we do not need it. That is redundant. It's fine. I don't know. I think I was trying to adjust some stuff there, but I couldn't find it, so whatever. It's fine. Kind of like MATLAB, I'm doing these after the fact. I used to do it at the same time, but you would hear keyboard clicking and whatever, and sometimes I like to speed these clips up just to make it flow a little bit faster, flow a little bit nicer, and so you don't have to watch the whole thing. I like to put the whole thing in, but I like to speed it up because these files end up being like 20 or 30 or 40 minutes just to fly like 1 or 2 missions. So I feel like I should condense it down at least a little bit. If you want me to do a full like non-sped up video, let me know in the comments, but like that's gonna be like 40 minutes and it's gonna be kind of boring because all of this can be sped up. And there we go, we are lifting off. And there I am just messing around, gathering some screenshots for the thumbnails. I do like to include that. I am a photographer. I am a photographer. So I can also do like editing tutorials if that's something you would like to see. Yeah. Oh, also, another college tip. Find clubs that are unrelated. Find like a hobby club, find something. Just don't be like in your academics all the time. You're gonna go insane, okay? I was in my university's photography club for a very long time, since it started back in 2017. I was a wee little freshman, and you would be surprised at the number of like engineers and STEM people that actually were in that. There was a lot in my 5 years of being there. Half of our e-board, the executive board, so our VP, our president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer, roughly like 3/4 of us were engineers or STEM related. Mostly engineers though. Like, there was a surprising number of mechanical and aerospace engineers and just engineers in general in Photo Club. Like, you probably wouldn't think it, but like, it's true. Like, we need to de-stress, and that was a lot of fun. That was so much fun, guys. So seriously, go join a club that is completely unrelated to what you study. You are going to thank yourself, because that can end up being like the one thing you look forward to in a week. Like, you have so many exams and whatever, and you have homework and projects and whatever. And probably the last thing you're gonna want to do is like be like, oh, I'm gonna go to my club, but wait, it's just academics. I don't really want to do that. So that's where you go. You find a club. You find a hobby club. You find something unrelated. At my school, there was a ton of stuff. There was like anime club. There was movie club. There's outdoor adventure where people would just go hiking. There was a birding club at one point, but that kind of died because they were just starting to get off the ground, and then COVID happened, and they lost a bunch of their e-board because they all graduated. But yeah, check your university, or just like get a bunch of people and start your own club, something that you're interested in and that you could have fun and interact with people, because that's like super important. I haven't been talking about what's on screen. It doesn't matter. You've seen this a bunch of times. It's just a simple home and transfer up to the moon. Capture dock. You've seen this a bunch of times. It's nothing that special. Like I said with docking, it is literally just practice. I have done this probably hundreds of times at this point, so I've gotten pretty decent at it. Of course, I'll mess up a couple of times because I'm just impatient or I'm being lazy or whatever. But as you do it, you get better. And here we are on our final approach. I have nothing more to say other than, if you liked the video, make sure to hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. If you loved it, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell if you will. Make sure to subscribe. I think I said that already. Thank you very much. I will see you next time. Good night.